Okay, perfect. Boom.
Yep.
Welcome to episode number one of my first ever
Oof.
podcast. Yeah, honestly, this is just me starting off brand new.
The pressure is
Uh,
on, huh?
the pressure is on. I am just as nervous because I've never done like an online conversation. I have like spoken to people in off like
Yeah.
for like long periods offline, but not one over Zoom and all of that.
I mean, 20 years of your life, I would have assumed you speaking to people.
Yep.
It'd be really tricky to
I'll
get
give
through
like
life
a
without
brief
speaking. Yeah,
introduction
bro.
about you. I'll give like a brief introduction. So, hello everyone. Today I'm thrilled and very happy to sit with me, to have with me an alumni of our college, Mr. Swastik Bansal. He is the founder of Genai Media, and they've worked with incredible companies like Zudio, Quillbot, Myntra, Agio, Rennie Cosmetics, and so many more. Thank you so much, Swastik, for being here today. And I'm genuinely happy to have you here so that we can discuss about college, the media agency, and just life in general. So let's get right into it. Let's start off with college because that's the common point, yeah. So what did you take in 12th
Yeah.
and like how did you end up at SCMS Pune just like us? Yeah.
Oh, dude, I I did my 11th and 12th with commerce plus math, and
Hmm.
in 12th I was prepping for all of the major entrances. So in my year there was only two IIMs that offered like an integrated degree. So I gave my entrances for both of those, gave my entrances for Christ, for Simbi, bunch of more colleges. Got into Christ, attended a month of Christ, and then Simbi happened. And for us, I was the COVID batch, right? So 2020. So our entrances was really stretched out. So I think college only started for us in September or October, something like that. Right. And I think that was the peak of COVID. So people were also freaking out. So like at home also, my parents were like, it's Pune. I'm from Pune, so it's close by. So it seemed like a safer bet. So I chose to switch to Simbi. And yeah, that's how I got in.
Perfect. Why do you because Pune was closer is why you moved from Christ to Pune, yeah? To SCMS.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 3 kilometers from the college right now, dude. So
Really? Wait, you're in Pune
yeah,
right
I'm in
now,
Kalyani Nagar.
Nagar?
Yeah. Yeah, in
Really?
Kalyani Nagar. Yeah.
Oh, crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll link
Yep.
up in real life then someday, hopefully.
Done.
Uh, okay, so first year when you like joined, yeah, because I'm in my first time right now. Uh, what were the things that you like? Because I'll tell you like my perspective when I came. Yeah, when I came to college, it was like there's just so many ways to do your first year, your second year, because every one guy is doing lots of internships, one guy is
Yeah.
doing just logged in on like a cell or a club, someone else is logged in on like running a business or something else. Like, what was
Yep.
your objective and like what did you want to do and what did you do actually in your first year? Like,
Dude, so it's so crazy because as I said, COVID year, right? So we actually
yeah.
didn't end up going to college until our final year, right?
Oh.
Yeah, so 2 years was just online. So first year, especially first sem, I was just like I was not studying, I was just chilling. Right? I was
Oh.
getting a semblance of what college is, how people
Uh,
interact in clubs and all of it. I got into ECEL
how did that
and
happen
but
online?
yeah,
How did you
ECEL,
get into the clubs and
everything was
stuff?
online, dude. We had like the entire what do you call the introduction and all of that was online, and then all the clubs held online meetings and online interviews and everything of that sort, right? And got into ESL online through an online interview, and it seemed like everything in the world to me at that point of time, right? Because it feels like
Mhm.
such a massive thing.
Right.
But yeah, apart from ESL, I don't think I did much. I got along well with the heads. My heads were Yash Bhosle and Arpit Rana, seniors
Hmm.
of mine,
Hmm.
great guys.
Okay. Okay.
Got into ESL felt like that was also a pretty cool thing to do. You
Right.
you were surrounded by a lot of like-minded people.
Right.
And yeah, so first sem was just largely figuring out college. Then our
Hmm.
online exams happened. Then first year though just went by, bro. So I think the only thing notable that I can remember in first year is um straight, I think maybe a month into college or not even that, there was a competition. I keep forgetting its name, dude. Intrapreneur or something like that, bro.
Yeah.
And
Corners
I
and Son.
not Kano. It was a
Okay.
ESL event.
Easter event. Okay.
I think it'll be on the page, but if I wait, I'm just gonna
Uh-huh.
check it because I know
Sure.
I'm tagged on one of the posts. And I was amongst the runners up in that. Right. So
Oh.
one of the sponsors, this
Mm-hmm.
social media company called Little Pune Stories, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They offered me an internship.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I found Enthusia. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
me, bro.
Yeah, yeah, I see, I see, I
Um,
see. It was an
so they
ESL event,
offered me
yeah?
an internship. Yeah, it was an ESL event. And
Okay.
I was like, yeah, sure, dude, why not? Let's do it. Right. So that's where I learned just a little bit about like social media management and marketing and all of that. And like back in 2020, the game was completely different. Reels was just coming in. So it was all statics and how to use your hashtags and all of that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, pretty normal stuff, but it was good. It was good. I think in school, I had a very, very sheltered school life.
Mm-hmm.
So coming into college, this gave me a bunch of perspective.
Valid,
Yeah.
valid. And then, how did you like proceed to then become ESL head, and then how did you manage a group of students when it was online as well?
Well, see, that was kind of tricky. The management part was a little tricky because obviously you weren't there in person, right? So you could
Mm-hmm.
only establish so much rapport with anybody. And ESL had happened, I think, because I think I was very lucky to have heads who always had a lot of faith in me,
Mm-hmm.
right? So even coming into ESL, they told me that, it'd be really cool if you apply for the head next year and we need you to step up this year. So I was like, yeah, sure. What else do I have? Like, there's not much that's taking up my time, right? So I was like, we might as well get this. Applied for
Valid.
the ESL head, gave a bunch of interviews, you know how it goes. Got into it. It was me and a good friend. I keep forgetting his name, dude. That's embarrassing. I'll just have to look up his name.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's
Um,
fine. But then
but yeah,
that went to you meeting. So you met your co-founder, everything online. Everything happened online.
no,
You
no,
met
no. I only
yeah.
met my co-founder Advait in the final year of college. Like we
Oh,
briefly knew who we were, like
okay.
each other, like through group
Mm-hmm.
projects and stuff. But we only met when college like properly started. So second year, mein to became ESL head. ESL in my year again was like a shadow of what it would be online, offline, right? Because there's only so much you can do, right?
Valid.
But we did a couple of events, and I think what I'm sort of skipping over here is what's more important for me was that between my first and second year, I think you have a month's break, right?
Right.
That's where I started my first business.
What was
So
that?
because I knew how to get into colleges,
Mm-hmm.
right? I was like, this is something I can do. It seems fairly simple. So I started a college, like an interview prep service, right?
Okay.
With two, three
Okay.
of my friends from college itself, right? And we
Uh,
charge like nothing. We charge like 99 rupees for SIMB prep, 125
okay.
rupees for comprehensive prep. And we would take
Okay.
like mock interviews and would create like GK sheets and all of that. And it was great. Um,
Mhm.
I think we all made like some 400, 300, 500 bucks, but it felt like amazing, right? Because you had
Because
people
that was the
actually
first money
buying.
you were making in college, yeah. Because that
Yeah, it's the first
first
time I was
paycheck by
making any money.
yourself, that's just completely different. It hits different
Exactly,
as well.
exactly.
Hmm.
And
So
what
this
I
was
had
like
sort of going on for me
preparation for all these college exams. So you getting into SIMB, getting
for
into Christ,
interviews, only for interviews,
only for the interview. Okay, okay, perfect.
only for
And
interviews.
then how do you get it out to
Uh,
people? How do you convince people to
Bro,
buy
so
it?
I was very lucky. Just
Uh-huh.
just before I started this, a friend of mine, Bhavya Taneja, right? He has a YouTube channel, College Prep and all, and he was in
Hmm.
IIM Rohtak. So
Hmm.
he wanted to speak to a lot of people from different colleges to talk
Hmm.
about their experience and how they got in, and the pros and cons of different colleges. So he spoke to me about Simbi, and that video like really did numbers on YouTube, right? So
Okay,
I
okay.
was having people text me automatically, hey man, need some help for Simbi interview, need some help
Uh-huh.
for Christ interview, this, that. I was
Uh-huh.
like, say less, So that's
Crazy.
how
And that
I got my
people
first few
from
customers,
that
got the
YouTube
ball rolling.
channel found you and then they came to you, right? And they started texting you on various
Yeah,
platforms.
yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
They
Okay.
started texting me. I was like, yeah, sure, dude. I coincidentally have this company which does this. And they were like, yeah, it's $100. What do we got to do this,
Awesome. 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 And then that then went. So first 2 years was online. Majorly,
Yep.
things couldn't happen as well because most things happen face to face. So then third year you meet all these
Correct,
peers
correct,
who've
correct.
been with you for the last 2 years online. What was that like, and
Yeah.
like
So
how did that go?
what happens is I think towards the start of my fourth sem or the end of my third sem, I get this internship, right, at this place called Medal. And it was this like really cracked guy, and he was building a company that would train teachers for edtech companies, right? Because
Okay.
edtech was in a massive boom at that point of time. A lot of
Right.
edtech teachers were being hired, but the teaching pedagogy is very different. So we were building that up, right? And with him, I worked for like 6 to 8 months about, and completely unpaid. But that's where I sort of realized what it takes to run a company. How do you build a lot of stuff? Because very small, it's very hands-on. It's me, the founder, and like one guy who coded, right? So
Oh.
how do you do outreach? How do you do sales? How do you talk to like random people? How do you convince people to come on board? How do you convince companies? That's where I sort of learned this. And I was working like insane hours. I was working like 8 hours, 10 hours a day in college because again, college wouldn't be there. It was my internship sem. I'd just be
Right.
working the entire time.
Right.
Right.
But that
So
went
that
for
happens.
eight
That gets
months.
so yeah, I started in October of
Mm-hmm.
2021 and it
Mm-hmm.
ended in April of 2022.
Oh, okay. And it was
Yeah,
just you, the
mid-October.
founder, and another tech guy. So it was like fully
Yeah, we
hands-on.
were
You
just
had to do
going.
all the
Yeah, we
work.
were
Yeah.
correct, correct. We were going ham, bro.
Perfect.
Like I did everything from like writing. See, there was no AI at that point of time, so I had to sit and write like descriptions about every single AI company to talk to. Like I, there was a period in March, in February, sorry, I think about a 3 week period where I talked to 600 teachers, right? And then like
600.
I never talked to 600 people in my life, bro. Right. I
Crazy.
just be so we've gotten this large database of teachers'
Uh-huh.
numbers, right? So I just be
Uh-huh.
picking up the phone, cold calling them, and talking to them about this product and how it could help them. And yeah,
Mhm.
that's where I really learned how to sell or talk to people, right?
Awesome.
So this
Awesome.
this ends in April
Mhm.
of 2022, 2022, right? Yeah, and then I'm just like bored because if you've been working for so much for like so many hours and for so
Right.
long, it just feels very like empty, right?
After a while, the learning
Um,
curve also like kind of slows down, and then you
yeah,
want to
it's just that
transition to something new.
no, the thing is, I wanted to keep doing that, but the edtech, like the bubble, it burst at that point of time. So companies were shutting down left, right, and center. So the
Right.
founder himself, he was like, "Hey, man, I understand you're a college student. This is an internship. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to leave, now is the best time." And I was like, "Hey,
Okay.
if you're saying so, then take abhi. What
Mm-hmm.
can I say?" My exams were coming up and all of that. Then I
Mm-hmm.
was like, "All right, I'll do that."
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think May was the break.
Mm-hmm.
June or July, college starts, and that's when
College.
I'm now meeting like people from
Meeting
my college for the first time.
all the college people for the first time. Crazy.
Yeah, imagine in the fifth sem, bro.
That would have
Crazy. It's
been
like I
hard
met
though,
a
yeah. You know
yeah, it
them,
was
but
just
you don't at the same time.
exactly. Like you have a preconceived notion of them, but you meet them in person, they're completely different. It's
Completely
always a little
different value.
tricky. And it's not like you just know them. You've known them for 2 years at this point of time.
Right, 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 right.
So yeah, offline college starts then. And yeah, I was just chilling. Then one of my seniors, my ESL head actually,
Hmm.
started his own agency, right? It's called
You
One
were
to Eight
head at
Media. It's
that
still
time,
active.
so your head, yeah, in the third year. So
No,
after
so
he left.
my tenure had gotten over, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, my tenure had gotten over, right? So I was still ahead in my second year, and then my third
Right.
year has started now.
Okay, okay. And
Right.
so,
So
but
after
so
my
your
tenure
head
is
left.
over,
Hmm. Your head left college, and then your head has
yeah,
started this agency, right?
correct, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, he started this agency called 128 Media. So I worked with him for a little bit doing sales and all of that. Right.
Hmm.
And then that also, I like because of college and all, I had left. Then I was just chilling. Then, so I had met my co-founder by this point of time, right?
Hmm.
And he wrote sports articles like for online publications, and he would
Right.
like go ham, bro. He would write like 6 8 articles every day before coming to college,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So he'd just be
Interesting.
pumping this shit out, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So I was super impressed. I was like, hey man, if I want to do anything, this guy has
Hmm.
the work ethic to do it. So I
Hmm.
asked him, do you want to do this? He's like, yeah, sure, why not? Uh,
Crazy.
so
Like this happens in the
like sitting in
starting of the year, starting of the third
this
year.
happens, yeah, fairly early. I think around September or October of 2022. Yeah. So
Hmm. You just took the shot. You just
I
asked
honestly
them,
like
"Hey, you have the work ethic. Let's do this."
yeah, there. I mean, it wasn't even that deep. We were just sitting. We were just
Hmm.
chilling.
Hmm.
We were boys already then, and I was like, "Do you
Hmm.
want to do this?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll be down." Right.
Crazy.
So then I just get to making like a very rudimentary website. I remember making it in the middle of um rural marketing, bro, Puneet sir's class. Uh, and I think I might have a photo somewhere of me purchasing like the domain name
Uh-huh.
g9mediaco.com in the middle of
Uh-huh.
class and doing all of that. Because I'd saved like a very little amount of money. I saved like 5,000, 10,000 rupees up from my
Yeah.
internship kya, for my sales job with my senior,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So I was like, I'll just put this back. I don't care about it anyways. There's not much
Right.
I can do with this money.
How much did you buy the domain for when you got the domain at that
Dude, it
time?
was a GoDaddy ka offer. So it was like 65
Uh-huh.
rupees. No, 130 rupees for the first year. So
For the first year. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I
Okay.
think that
Cool.
was my net investment into the company. Yeah.
Okay.
130 rupees. And yeah, actually, I didn't even buy Canva. Pro, then I think Canva was also the next year. Chat GPT was next year. Everything, yeah, $130, bro.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
That's all we built. I got my email ID, swastik@g9mediaco.com, got
Mm-hmm.
Advait's, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just didn't know how to get a client, bro. So we
That's
started this in
the
September, October. Yeah,
uh-huh.
and then we were just sitting on our asses for 2.5 months.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Then what happens is in January, a college junior of ours,
Mm-hmm.
right? His uncle, I think, has a clothing brand or something. Um, I think, yeah, it's a clothing brand for plus size people,
Okay,
right?
okay,
And he's looking for an intern for social media marketing, right?
okay, okay.
And I think the pay is some 8,000 rupees a month or something. So
Mm-hmm.
we go to him and we're like, hey man, you're looking for an intern for just 4,000 rupees more. You can have an entire agency working for you. And we
Uh-huh,
make the
uh-huh.
pitch and we give them an entire proposal and everything. And that was our first
Yeah.
client, right? So
Crazy.
I
Wait,
think
you converted this internship, which was supposed to happen through college, or like just off?
no. He was just like looking for
Oh,
people. I
you're just
think
looking for
he
people.
would eventually have approached PlaceCom, but he was just like asking
Uh-huh.
people around. And we were like, hey,
Interesting.
we'll just do it, bro.
Okay, okay.
Right. So because see, again, for us, social media marketing was the easiest thing to do, right? We
Mm-hmm.
didn't have any like quantifiable skill set. Like I couldn't do anything. I can't code. I can't go
Uh-huh.
out and build a house. Social media marketing is what you click a couple of photos and you put
Right,
hashtags and a caption and you put it on, right? So
right, right.
we were like, okay, if nothing else, we can do this,
Uh-huh.
right? So January, I think first week Feb is when we close them as a
Mm-hmm.
client,
Mm-hmm.
right? We start social media marketing again. Decent client. They gave us the grace to learn, but again, they would also expect a lot of things from us, right? Because they were our client. It's the first time we're
Right,
doing uh, work for money.
right.
So and then I think a couple of days into like managing them, they come to us. They're like, "Hey man, do you know any good photographers or a photograph like a modeling agency who want to get a photo shoot done?" And we're like, "Hey, hold up, I
Uh-huh.
can do that too." Right. So they're
Crazy.
like, "Oh, that's perfect, bro.
Uh-huh.
We have a budget of some, I don't know, some 50K or something for the shoot,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Can you do it?" I was like, "Yeah, bro,
And
say
then you all
less."
took the job.
We took the job, bro.
Crazy.
So I so they
Everything is
sent
just
over
an
like,
offer coming to you, even though you
yeah,
didn't have
yeah,
the means to do it. You just still said yes,
yeah.
and then
You
you
just
found out the way to do it. Yeah.
yeah, because I knew at the back of my head, कि ठीक है, I know a photographer. Like I knew one of my juniors used to do photography, did photography at that point of time, and I had gotten him to do a photo shoot for one of my friend's stores. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, okay, I have a photographer in mind.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a photographer, I'm sure he can edit the photos as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
मेरे side वाला college SID है, so I'm sure I can find a stylist there,
Right,
right?
right.
There are 3,000 cafes in Pune. I'm sure I can convince two of them to let me shoot there,
Valid.
right?
Yeah,
It's it's not very hard,
yeah.
right?
But
The
then,
hard part was finding like models who are plus sized, right? But luckily
mhm,
the brand helped us and they're like, hey, these are two models we know from Bombay. You can just talk to them and they'll come. And I
okay,
talked to them and they were like, yeah, sure. Right.
perfect. And they
Paid
came.
everybody out. I think we made a profit of some 7,500 rupees on that photo shoot. And
Uh-huh.
like we were on the top of the world, bro.
Uh-huh.
Like I can't tell
Actually,
you, 12,500 rupees from no 11,500 rupees from social media management and seven and a half
yeah,
thousand rupees profit from the photo shoot. I was like, bro, this is the best thing. You
you
know,
did.
I'm just doing nothing and making
Because you're
money.
making money without, anybody else. It's just you and your co-founder. You guys are
Yeah,
finding the
it's
means, just
just the
making
both of
it
us.
happen. Right, right.
Correct. Just like randomly, I don't know if I have it. I think I can show you my first ad looking out, like looking for a graphic designer,
Yeah, yeah.
bro.
I'd like
Wait,
to see.
I'm sure it's here somewhere. Uh, this will be probably like March of 2023, right? Um, is it this? Oh yeah, it's really bad, but I thought it was like really, I thought it was the funniest thing in the world, bro. Wait, I
Tell
need
me.
to unblur my camera. How the hell do I do that? Oh, look at this shit.
No, shut up. No. There's no way.
Yeah,
Did you
we
actually put
just
that out?
we
And you
just
got
we
no way.
yeah we just I took a screenshot of this
Yeah.
and I put it on like college groups and we put it on our stories and shit, and yeah, I found a graphic designer, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Mad, bro. Mad.
It just happens, bro. I don't know, like Let's
I,
put
I
these
think
things
I think
out
I
and they
think
happen.
people found the F no, like they just found like he needs it, and then maybe they reached out. Let's see.
Yeah, like I need it really bad, bro. So
The post
found
is
a graphic
funny.
designer. Yeah,
Mhm.
bro, and it just I think so
But
we'd
you
gotten
need
placed.
your first, like you need some, like let's say after this client was done, you would have needed some credibility to go approach the next one. So like
So
what was
this
that
was a
turning
retainer,
point
right?
where like,
This was the retainer for us, right?
oh, okay.
So it was a month on month thing, luckily.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so we'd gotten placed in college. Advait and I both had gotten placed in the fifth sem itself. He'd
Mm-hmm.
gotten placed in Zomato. I'd gotten placed in Gobo, right?
Okay.
But we realized pretty early that this is not what we want to do.
Okay.
So by the time now, like college is ending in April, by
Mm-hmm.
March we've already done all of this. So we have the confidence to go home and tell our parents that hey, when we're gonna turn the jobs
Yeah.
down. So
Yeah.
with one client making a combined revenue of some like 20,000 rupees, we
Yeah.
just turned down these job offers, right?
Right. 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 Made
Um,
sense. Made sense as
and
well.
then yeah, then we're just at it, bro. We just start with social media. We get our second client
Mm-hmm.
in May, which was like a turf, bro. It was a turf in Bombay,
Okay.
like a sports arena with like football and cricket and
Mhm.
badminton and all of that shit, bro. We go and like I go at once a month. We go and shoot ourselves, and we're the actors, and it's like it's backbreaking work, but we're happy, right? Because we have
Right.
work to do, right? Then
Right.
we get a
Right.
restaurant, then we get a hotel somewhere in like Karnataka, and then like things start happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
But middle of that year, we realized that if we go the social media route, it'll take us a lot of time to reach the big leagues, right? It'll take us a lot of time
Mm-hmm.
to work with like really big, really cool brands. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not what we want to do. And at the same time, we're seeing like influencers make a lot of money, work with the coolest brands.
Right.
So we want a piece of that action.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a bunch of friends who were influencers, who were in the business. So we asked
Okay.
them for help. We asked them, hey man, we want to pivot, blah, 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 blah. And we start gradually shifting our focus to influencer marketing, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
by December of 2023, we got our first influencer marketing campaign.
Okay.
January, February, we're having steady amount of revenue from influencer marketing. Come
Mm-hmm.
March, we've dropped all of our social media clients, right?
Oh,
So
okay. So you
April of
completely
last
moved from
year,
social media to just influencer marketing now.
influencer. Correct, correct, correct.
Wait, for someone who
So
doesn't
April of last year,
understand the business model, what exactly is the
okay,
model now that it's shifted
for
from
influencer
social
marketing.
media marketing to influencer marketing? Yeah.
So a couple of things, right? Largely, what you're doing as an agency for
Mm-hmm.
brands is that a brand will come up to you. They'll be like, "Hey, man, we're launching the new iPhone,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we need relevant influencers to spread like market awareness about it, to market it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I, as an agency, will go on and be like, "Hey, okay, these are 10 creators that target different age groups, demographics, and these are who we think would be the most appropriate." Right?
Right.
Brand will say, okay, out of these 10, I want to work with the eight of them, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
influencers obviously charge a fees for posting a reel, for posting
Right.
a story, a post, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I will then tell the brand that, okay, these are their commercials, this is what they're charging. And I, as an agency, will be paid a commission on it, right? So it'll either be a commission or a brand will have me on retainer where they're like, hey, irrespective of how many campaigns we'll do, we pay you a
Mm-hmm.
fixed amount a month, right?
Okay. Okay.
And you
Okay.
will be the service agency for us. Or the third option is that you just add your margin on top of it. So suppose Aditya Nambiar is charging 100 rupees per post, right?
Right.
I'll just tell the brand, hey, he's charging 120 rupees. Brand will be like, all right, sure, sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll
Understood.
make my 20 rupees there.
Okay.
All right.
So either through
So
commission
yeah,
or through like a fixed fee, or
yeah,
just any kind of deal
just a
that
margin.
gets you a margin. Understood. Understood. So when you talk
Correct,
about
correct, correct, correct.
the ones on the website, like when you say like 100 million views generated for Quillbot, for example, that would mean that you worked
Yeah,
with these influencers. These influencers combined have amassed over 100 million views, right? Through your agency.
correct, correct,
Perfect.
correct, correct.
Okay. And you
Through
get
my
paid
agency,
per
yes.
view, or
So it's
again
basically
depending
the
on the business model, right?
no. So it's fixed. It's depending on like the cost of the creator and all of that, right? So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of calculation comes into play here. So I'll see suppose the creator is averaging 1 lakh views,
Mm-hmm.
right? On every reel, his average across the past 10 reels is a lakh, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell the brand that, hey, it's most appropriate to pay him anywhere between 20 to 40,000 rupees because at that point, I'm paying about say 0.2, 0.25 rupees per view, right?
Okay.
So a good brand will want a cost per view of anywhere between 0.2 to 0.5, 0.2 to 0.6, right?
Okay.
So if you're able to hit that and get the views, it's great. Right now, with a brand like Quillbot, obviously I'm not at 0.2 CPV because that would mean they paid me 20 crore rupees. But we're even better. I think it's 0.01 or something like that
Right.
with
Right.
Quillbot, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, that's how we do.
Perfect. Perfect. What about how did you even approach companies like, let's say, Ajio, Myntra, and like Bombay Shaving Company, for example? What was
So
it
so
like approaching them, and how did you even get them on board?
So it was easier, it's significantly easier for us, it was at least, to lock a client in influencer marketing rather than for social media management. Because
Mm-hmm.
social media management, they've already been doing it for 10, 15 years, right? They have
Right.
established agency and all that. For influencer marketing, they're much more likely to take a risk on a younger agency, to bet
Mm-hmm.
on a younger agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for us, what worked is, again, last year, March and April, we had zero clients. Like I was making no money again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we just bought LinkedIn premium subscriptions, me and Advait, and we just went ham. So we were
Mm-hmm.
sending out maybe 1,000 connects a week and just like going crazy on it, like being limited by LinkedIn that, hey, you can't take any more actions on LinkedIn because you've sent so many invites.
Right.
Just doing that, dude, and yeah, booking meetings. And then 2 months of this got us our first proper client
Mm-hmm.
in April, the end of April, start of May.
Mm-hmm.
And once you have one good client to show for, then you can sort of just take that from there.
From there, you can just build on. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's very the first thing is the hardest. And once you have like that momentum going, it just happens, right? And you find creators, you develop relationships with creators, start managing them. They'll get a lot of brand like outreaches, right? Because they all the brands want to work with the creators, use that outreach to talk to them.
Right.
It's like the flywheel just keeps on going.
As in more as when you get a creator on board, also, what is it like? What is the process? Like you just DM them on Instagram and then,
So
uh,
it's like a cold DM to manage will not be very successful, or if it's very, or if it is successful, that means it's not a very good creator, right?
mhm.
The best way to approach a creator is to get them work, right? Like
Okay.
one of the creators I manage,
Uh-huh.
Devang, FEG Music,
Uh-huh.
we worked with him for a deal in May last year, right? So
Mhm.
he already had some form of faith in me that, hey, he's already gotten me business, right? He doesn't even manage me, right?
Mhm.
And for me, it was simple because I was running influencer marketing for a client back then, right? So
Mhm.
I could just connect them and both of them were happy. Then
But
eventually I got,
no, before you send a profile, for example, would you like let the influencer know that I'm sending your
no,
profile to this company? No,
not
you just send
necessarily.
it to
No, that
them.
doesn't make a
You get the
difference.
work in hand,
Yeah.
and then you approach them with the work. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's often a simultaneous process, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all major creators will be signed by an agency, right? So instead
Mm-hmm.
of reaching out to individual creators, you would often just reach out to an agency and just be like, hey, I need the rates for these 5 creators of yours. And I'm going to pitch them to one of my clients. You'll be like, yeah, sure. This is how much they charge. Or if it's an individual creator, like if it's an unsigned creator, you'll just DM them, or you'll ask one of your creator friends to DM them. And yeah, you sort of make that cycle happen. Right.
Okay.
And suppose, and again, with the brand, it's not like I'll pitch 10 creators and immediately they'll say, okay, मेरे को सब 10 के साथ काम करना है, right? It'll be a
Mm-hmm.
week-long process where we're going back and forth. So a couple of days in, I'll have a fair idea of who's going to work out, who's not going to work out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I will already then start reaching out to the creators simultaneously. And by the time the brand confirms, I'll have their commercials in hand, right? Then I'll tell the brand, okay, they're charging this much. The brand will be like, okay, this is what we can do. Negotiations happen. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Got it. Got it.
So,
The thing is,
so you
there's
were
10
saying,
more,
yeah,
there's
go
10
ahead.
more minutes left on like the free trial. Uh,
Uh-huh.
so like, would you have time or like, would you
I
wanna
think 10 minutes is good for me.
perfect, perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
So, we'll I kind of understood the business model. I understood how the agency works. Any kind of advice you'd give to like a student now, knowing that we have offline classes and all of that, for anyone studying an
Yeah.
SCMS student, like any kind of advice that you would give to just get that first buck,
Oh,
because that
dude, I
gives you
don't
so much
know.
confidence, right?
Bro, that's tricky. I feel like get a good internship would be my
Mm-hmm.
first advice. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not the smartest thing to just dive into business without having a lot of experience. I
Mm-hmm.
did it, but I regretted it for an entire year before I figured out what I actually wanted to do.
Right.
right? Like social media marketing was great, but
Mhm.
A, it was very low paid, right?
Mhm.
And B, it was tedious. It was like
Mhm.
tedious amounts of work, right?
Got it.
So it just was very like confusing. If I had known about influencer marketing pehle only,
Mhm.
I would have probably done it.
Got it. Got
So
it.
yeah, get like relevant internships,
Mhm.
learn stuff on the job. I feel like college is the best time to learn because you don't actually have like any problems, right? You can just take
Mhm.
your class and get internship side by side.
Right.
First
Right.
year, year and a half, you can just intern at cool places, like places you find cool. Reach out to them on LinkedIn, most of them
Mhm.
respond.
Right.
And then just figure out what you want to do. If you want to do something of your own,
Mhm.
get started in college. That's also because it's a risk-free time to start and fail,
Right. You don't have
right?
any
Yeah.
responsibilities. You have all the
Exactly.
limited
As and
time.
when time passes, as and when you graduate,
Mhm.
it only becomes more risky. Like I
Okay.
right now wouldn't have taken the same move I did 3 years back to start GMAC.
Mhm. Got it.
Right.
I also
So,
like read on your banner, you say pursuing greatness. Is there any like uh mentality or any kind of like
sorry,
fundamentals?
could you come again? Your voice is cut out.
I read on your LinkedIn banner it says pursuing greatness. So is there any like
Yeah.
advice or anything that you keep as fundamentals? Like I have certain fundamentals for myself. Any fundamentals or any values that you stick to when like making decisions in life or when doing things in life in general?
Um,
Like
that's a good question. I'll
humility.
have to
For
think
for
about it.
me, like something a fundamental would be, just respecting people. Like just the higher you
Yeah.
go, the more humble you become, or something like that. So
I feel like, see, being nice is very basic, right? I feel like everybody has to be nice. That's not something unique to me.
mm,
Everybody should be nice, and that's how you get things done.
right.
In general, with business, I feel like a lot of people don't aim big enough, right?
Hmm.
A lot of people still find it ridiculous that we want to become the largest and the best agency in the country, and I think it's very doable in the next 2, 3 years. Um,
Fire. Yes.
so
I
yeah, so
there was this. Mhm. No, you were
having a
saying
little
something.
bit of an unrealistic goal is pretty useful at times because
Yeah.
if it comes true, you're right. Otherwise, you're in the pursuit of like a significantly larger amount of whatever, a revenue, of profit, of
Right.
followers than you were initially after, right?
Hmm.
So just like have some ridiculous goals that you feel a little bit ashamed of telling to people.
Yep. 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 Big
Yeah,
agree. Big agreement. Also,
yeah.
like, have you ever thought of like what is the next pursuit for you? For like, let's say like the next 10 years, do you want to do an MBA or like anything else that you have in mind other than
I
scaling the
mean,
agency?
well, I don't think so, dude. No, I just we need to as I said, I'll probably think about that after we're the largest dude. It
Fire.
doesn't make sense to
Fire.
have. See, I'm not very big on backup plans, right?
Hmm.
Because my backup plan is to make my first plan work.
Yep. Yep.
It's if you have a backup plan, if you have a fallback option, you often end up falling back on it, right? If you
That
have
is
nothing
that
going
is
on
good
for you,
advice. Hmm.
you just have to dog it
Make
out.
it
You
work.
have to make this happen, right? So right
Yes,
now it's
yes.
just taking this maybe to like a couple hundred crores, and then we'll see. Then we'll see where life takes us. I do want to do an MBA at some point of time,
Hmm.
but right now my opportunity cost is too large, right? I can't go away even for a year right now.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
maybe if I'm at a point where I can just really quickly go and do an MBA and come back,
Hmm.
potentially, but again, then that becomes a vanity thing, right? If my opportunity cost becomes so large, then
Hmm.
how is an MBA really helping me?
That
Right.
right.
So,
True.
but I do want to go back to college. I think
Mhm.
that's something that I missed, right? I only got like 8 months
Right.
of college. So
Right.
I want to
Right.
have like
Right.
a proper experience.
And I feel like
So
with all the
let's,
experience that you've had, you would also, this time you'd do it much differently. Maybe,
yeah,
maybe let's say
bro,
if you had a year,
I just
if you
ball
had
out, bro. I
another
just ball
year,
out. Yeah, I just have way more fun, dude. I don't think I'd study. Even if I'd go and do an MBA, I don't think I'm gonna study anymore.
quickly,
But
do you
yeah, I'm
think
just gonna
the
do musty.
CGPA, GPA, and all that stuff matters? Because you've been
It
through
okay,
college, huh?
okay.
Does
It
it matter?
it matters in the sense that it tells me about a person's work ethic, but it
Hmm.
doesn't tell me how smart somebody is, right? Like
Hmm. I agree.
if I interview somebody with a 9 GPA, right?
Hmm.
I know at the least they're a hard worker,
Hmm.
right?
True, true.
Um, they might be really stupid, but at least they're working hard, right? If they're stupid and
Mhm.
have a 9 GPA, that means they're working doubly as hard, right?
Right.
I know a lot of people who disagree with me on this. They'll be like, "Hey, I had a 4 GPA. I'm really, really smart."
Mhm.
Yeah, but I have no demonstrated history of knowing that you were really smart, right?
Knowing that you were really
And
smart. I agree with
for
this. I
all
agree
I
with
can
this.
see, you're super. You didn't work hard enough in college. So
Mhm.
a GPA matters. Like you should always work on getting a good GPA because it'll instill a work ethic in you, right? Like
Right.
personally, getting into Simbi was incredibly easy for most people. It
Mhm.
was not a
Right. It
challenge, right?
is.
So
Right. Right.
most Simbi students haven't shown a demonstrated history of working hard in any aspect of their life. And on
Right.
top of that, if you have a bad GPA, it's kind of embarrassing.
It is bad. Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I also had like a question for you. Like, are there any like people in life that you like look up to? Anybody famous, or like any YouTuber or anybody else?
Oh, let me think, dude.
For me, it's like
I
Denzel
don't know
Washington,
if
for example. Like anybody, or like a YouTube channel that you follow that's like helped you get to that business mindset or something like that.
I don't think there's any one thing. Like I'm not very big on these like uh, cult of personality gurus and leadership coaches and all of
Hmm.
that. Like
Hmm.
all the social media bros. I think that's a little insane. I think most people are too intense and you don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. to do something.
Yep.
Um, I don't know, dude. I really do like a lot of people's way of doing business, but it's like individual things. I think
Hmm.
one thing that a media that I consume that would be relevant is the Founders podcast.
Hmm. The
Just look
Founders
up
Podcast.
Founders
Yep.
on
I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
Spotify. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's just Founders, and look up Acquired, bro. These are two incredible, like very dense business podcasts, right?
Hmm.
Full of information,
Got it.
full of value. And they just analyze like the best businesses for the past 200 years. So it's
Hmm.
great. Helps me quite a bit. There's no
Perfect.
better way to learn than from anybody else's mistakes and their experiences.
Perfect. We have a
Yeah.
minute and a half on my trial, so let's wrap it up there then.
If you want to
Uh,
do like uh rapid fire, I'm up for it. Otherwise, yeah, we have to wrap it.
we'll wrap it up. It's fine. The major things that I wanted
Cool.
to ask and like understanding the model and your experiences, all that's done. So genuinely, thank you so much for like being my first
For
podcast
sure,
guest,
bro.
firstly and most
Of course,
importantly,
anytime.
like for giving me a
Yeah.
shot, for like sitting down with me. Genuinely appreciate it. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you, man.
Uh, hope that you had something valuable from our conversation there.
Yeah, it
So,
was great, dude. And
yep.
I wish you all the success in your podcast.
Thank you so
And
much. Thank you so much.
it's quite nerve-wracking because we did the same at ESL. So if
Uh-huh.
you look up Minutes with Pioneers on Spotify, the ESL
Minutes
podcast
with
from
pioneers.
21, 22 will come up. Yeah. We
I think
interviewed a
I'll check.
VC and we interviewed a Rhodes Scholar and a bunch of cool people.
I'll check. I'll check. I'll check. Thank you so much, Swastik.
Awesome.
Have a great day then.
Thank you. Have a great
Sayonara.
day, man.
Take care.
See
Bye bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.